I guess we went for the punch in the face first. Now we're gonna go for the punch in the gut.
Yeah, let's do it. Um, the other sort of like really truly searing loss in my life was we had a stillborn daughter at 24 weeks. And so, where should I start with this story? The backstory on it is my wife and I have been trying to get pregnant for a while, and we'd experienced a lot of miscarriage and pregnancy loss. And I think the first time it happened, um, my reaction was to be very sad, um, but ultimately feel like, okay, this is sort of we're gonna we'll try again. You know what I mean? And I did not realize how differently it was gonna hit us because
Yeah.
for her there was a physical piece, there's a hormonal piece, there was a feeling like her body had failed, like she had failed at her purpose. You know what I mean? So it was just
Right, almost like
soul
a
crushing.
grief of failure.
Well, I had the
Yes,
same experience.
you
Mark and I
did.
didn't have kids. We were married 7 years we tried till
Oh
we got
God,
Sam. So I understand that feeling.
God, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's soul crushing. It's soul crushing, and it's a thing no one talks about. And part of why I wanted to do this show is because I think more men should talk about pregnancy loss and how devastating it is. And it's something you just very much experience alone. And I think this happened right as we went into the pandemic. Like basically in the 2019
Mm.
So
December
you
of
were
20,
really alone.
like really alone. In December in December of 2019, we we did a Christmas with Hannah's family, my wife's family. We told them all. We celebrated what was happening, and then we got back in January and we had that miscarriage. Right. So that
Mm.
was the first. And then there was another and another. And we went to like, we got help from doctors, and tried like IVF and all these other things, and like nothing was working. And then um, finally we get pregnant, and you're just white knuckling it like every day. You know what I mean? And we got to 24 weeks, which is sort of this Mendoza line where the baby can be viable out of the womb. So you didn't think you're out of the woods, but you think you're past a very, very important milestone. And then, what happened was, Hannah, like my wife she's had a sixth sense. She knew something was wrong. She was driving, she pulled over. There was like literally like an ultrasound place like in the mall. So she like went there and they like tested her and they couldn't find a heartbeat. And then she like called me and like raced to the hospital. So I called John and my friend John Favreau was like, "Can you come grab my dog?" And so I raced to the hospital and like, we're in the ER and then they finally see us and they do a real ultrasound. And like for a minute, this poor nurse technician like thought she heard a heartbeat and I think said that. And we had this like moment of hope. And then, it's like dashed all over again. Um, and then just sort of like adding to just the unbelievable like levels of cruelty is um the the woman has to then deliver this child, you
Right.
know? So they give you all these pills to induce the birth and like you're just waiting and we're at this hospital and like talk about like the we're in a movie like that
Right.
that
Yeah.
that was like the very much like Hannah was like, is this real, is this really happening, um because we both obviously didn't want it to be. And so, you go through this horrible process, you deliver a baby. We got to hold her and like take photos and spend time with her for a few hours. But then this what is supposed to be one of the greatest moments of your life ends with you walking out of this room, um and leaving your child there. You
And
know,
that's
it,
exactly what I was gonna say, what's supposed to be the one of the greatest moments of your life,
yeah.
right? Because you talk about, going to the hospital and delivering the baby and holding your baby and,
Dressing it up for the pictures.
and
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
pictures and, it for most people, all of those things are the height, the best. I mean, I don't know, I don't have a kid, but, that's what that's what you see,
Mhm.
that's what you hear, and meanwhile, you have the complete, utter opposite experience.
Yeah,
And
and
nobody knows, and you walk out onto the street, and the world's still going. Everyone's still doing what they're doing. You go to the grocery store to get something. "Hi, how are you?"
I'm awful.
I'm awful. I mean, I would just write out, say, "Well, my husband dropped dead 2 days ago, and Because that's my personality. I was so upset the world kept going, and no one knows what and it happened during the pandemic for you, no one knows.
Yeah. Yeah, no one knows, and so this time we sort of had to talk about it, like, it's funny, we got home, I woke up the next day, I just had these, like, thoughts I had to get out, and I actually, like I'm not, like, a big personal Instagram user, but I posted something because I was just having this overwhelming feeling that I wanted to tell people about her or, like, memorialize her existence.
Yeah,
We didn't we hadn't we named her Margot, we hadn't said that publicly yet, but
I
just,
love
like,
that name.
thank you, as, Hannah's
Thank
family
you.
name, and just, like, we wanted her to exist and for people to know that we love her, we will always love her, she's a part of our family, she's just not with us.
Right.
Um, and also just there was this weird feeling I had over the course of those days where there was this weird moment, the sense that I felt so unbelievably alive. It was like the world was, like, vibrating around me because I was just so aware of life and the gift of life and
Mm.
just the extremity of these emotions and feelings I was having. Um, and I guess so much of
That's something I've never heard before or, like, described that way, and I know what you're talking about, but,
yeah,
like, usually we describe it as numb,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I don't know why. It was like I just think maybe sometimes you go through life and you kind of bump along and you do what you do and you go to bed, then you wake up the next day. And it was just like this searing reminder of kind of what we have. And I don't know. I had a huge level of gratitude for all these people, like the nurses that we met, random people that were nice to me in the parking lot. Like I couldn't find my car. This guy helped me out. I nearly gave him a hug. I was just like, thank you, like weeping into this man's face. So I don't know. It was a weird um mix of emotions.
Well, yeah, because those little things someone does something nice for you when you're going through this, and it is so emotional, it just
Yeah.
makes everything for me just come to the
Yes.
surface.
100%.